The snow leopards are one of the most unique and elusive animals from all the species we can currently hunt on this game. They are extremely rare, very skittish, and overall I would say they are the ultimate challenge for any hunter. So in today's video we're gonna go over how to hunt and where to find the snow leopards here on Sundarpatan. So first of all, we're gonna start by going over some basic information about the snow leopard as a species. These snow leopards are solitary hunters that tend to live on high altitude mountainous regions, and they are characterized for having an exceptional sense of smell, keen hearing, and excellent sight. These guys are no joke. They may not go aggressive towards the hunter as the tigers do, but they are significantly harder to hunt since they are way more rare. These leopards are class 4 animals that reach a max level of level 9 legendary and make diamond with a score of 29. Their max weight estimate is 63 to 75 kilos, so if you happen to stumble across a track with that estimate, make sure to track it because it may be level 9. And the level 9 leopards are very rare. Now in the case of the different fur types these snow leopards have, these guys are known for being able to spawn with 5 different fur variations, known fur variations, 2 of which are common and 3 of which are very rare. The common variations are both the snow and the caramel, and the rare variations are leucistic, albino and melanistic. I have no idea of exactly how rare the rare variants are, but it's very possible that at least in most cases we're probably gonna have to kill hundreds of leopards before the first rare spawns, or maybe way less. Because it is also very possible that the spawn rates of the rares are not as high as the spawn rates of a normal rare, since it is known that the number of leopards per map is around 10. So it would definitely make sense for these rare variants to not be as rare as they normally are, just to not make them nearly impossible to get due to a low number of leopards that inhabit each map. Now we're gonna go over what I think are some of the best weapons to hunt these leopards. As I mentioned earlier, these snow leopards are a class 4 species, which means that it is possible to hunt them using a wide range of weapons. Among the rifles we have the Malmer 7mm, which is a fantastic weapon that apart from being perfect for the leopards, is also gonna let you drop many other species without any issue. Another very good option is of course the Sarsa 308, being this a very reliable rifle. I mean, at the end of the day, any class 4 to 8 or class 3 to 7 rifle will do the job, so it's not really important which one you choose. What is actually important are the locations where you decide to look for these leopards, since these guys are only located around the Himal region, essentially this northern region up here. Within this home range, the chance of finding a leopard is very low, since as I said there are less than 10 of them per map. And if we combine that with the fact that these leopards have no train time, the possibility of stumbling across one becomes even lower. However, at least in my experience, within this home range there are some places where the chance of finding a leopard seems to be higher than on the rest of the locations. This is just based on my personal experience, but since the map was released and even on the early access, these areas have been very consistent not only for me but also for many people, in the sense that many of these locations tend to have at least one leopard on most maps. I mean, obviously all the maps are different, so there's no guarantee that you'll find them exactly on all the locations I'm about to show you, but there's a good chance that if you check them all, there's a good chance you'll find at least a few. Now the first location I'm gonna show you is this area right here. If you arrive to this place around 7:30 in the morning, which is within the 6 to 9 rest time these snow leopards have, I would say there's a high chance you'll find one resting here. Like this one. Is it a male or a female? 51 to 63 kilos, it is a male. Alright. Honestly, from all the areas I've seen so far, this one is one of the most consistent. Many maps have a leopard here. Not all, but many. So once you arrive here, make sure to run around looking for a track, and don't expect the zone to be on the exact same position as this one, because if there's actually a leopard here, it will be around the same area, but it's not always gonna be on the exact same place. Now, very close to the last location, there's what we could call another hotspot, where in my experience the odds of finding a rest zone are also high. Right here. Right on the southern part of this lake. When this zone is here, it's always at any of the leopard rest times, which are from 600 to 900, from 1500 to 1800, from 2100 to midnight, and from midnight to 300. I feel this zone is not as consistent as the first one I shown you, because in my personal experience it is not present on as many maps as the first one, but it's definitely still worth checking, especially since, as you can see here, it is not too far. It's very close from the other location, and that certainly means that you can find 2 different leopards on a very short period of time. Many maps are gonna have both zones, which is definitely great. Some others are gonna have only one, and there are definitely a few others that in rare occasions may not have any of the two, but they are probably gonna have a third one. which is usually located around this region, and it is also very possible, and I'm saying this from experience, that there are some maps that in rare occasions are gonna have all three zones at the same time. Now, another very important thing when it comes to hunting these leopards apart from the locations is that whenever you find a track, you'll have to decide what kind of approach to take to find it. You know, these snow leopards, as I said earlier, are very scary species, but contrary to what you think, they are not that hard to chase, since they aren't too fast. So the first approach you can take, which is the one we're taking at the moment, is the classic run behind it until you reach it approach. There's honestly no science to it, you simply follow it as quickly as possible until you get a chance to shoot him. And the only disadvantage about doing that is that once you see the leopard, it's most likely gonna be thrown. And there he is. Level 7. We knew it wasn't max estimate, so it's not a surprise. And since this guy is throwing, we're forced to take a shot on the throat. You know, these kind of shots are very risky, so make sure to take them only if you feel confident with them. If you don't feel confident taking these kind of shots on the move, make sure to wait until I show you the next approach. I mean, you can practice them. In fact, I would recommend you to practice them since they can save you a lot of time. But definitely don't take him on a trophy. He is down. Oh! Another leopard. Around the area I mentioned. Yeah, that place may not be as consistent as the first two areas, but is also relatively consistent in comparison with the rest of the locations. Look at that level 7. On the same place where we heard the female, but this one is on a different session. He's alert. So I'ma shoot him. That's it. And this one is a 27.35, slightly bigger than the last one. Or is it smaller? You know, the second approach you can take to chase a leopard is way safer than the first one in the sense that the goal of this approach is to make the shot easy, yet it is also way more time consuming than the first approach, in most cases. Essentially this method, if you wanna call it a method, is the typical cautious way to track an animal. And by the way, before I forget it, we're currently on another location that is, in my opinion, just as consistent as the other locations I shown you. Basically this area right here, below this watchtower. This area is also one of those places where you have a good chance of finding a leopard rest zone, and in my experience it is relatively consistent since many maps have a zone here. Not all the maps, but many. And if you don't happen to find any leopard here, in my experience it is also worth checking the other side of the watchtower, which also tends to be rather consistent. So as I was saying, what we're gonna do this time is to take a more cautious approach on which we chase the leopard carefully, avoiding to make much sound, and minimizing our visibility. You have to be really patient while doing this, make sure to move as slowly as possible because the goal of this approach is to spot the animal while it is on a need zone where you can easily shoot him. Mating call. She's close, eh? Maybe she's resting. Is she down there? It's gonna be hard to spot, eh? They really blend themselves with the terrain. I don't see her. Now she could be down there. Yep, there we have it. Finally. She's still calm, which is good, although it is only a level 1. So I'm not gonna do anything weird here and we're just gonna shoot her. And that will be enough. No way. Max estimate. Max estimate Snow Leopard, it may be level 9. As you can see, we found this one very close to the last location on the other side of the watchtower, but this time on a different session. So we're gonna do our best to find it because it has a chance to be really big. Maybe diamond. Now this area looks like the perfect place to spot him. We got some nice elevation. So where is him? He has to be close. Oh, there he is. Is it a level 9? No, level 7. Another level 7. So let's see. Just like that. Not gonna lie, I was expecting this guy to be at least a level 8, so I'm a bit disappointed. But it's nice to see another big leopard. Alright, 27.82. Look at that shot. Not too bad, eh? I mean, as long as you hit a long with a class 4 to 8 rifle, you're gonna drop him on the spot. Now, another location that in my experience has also been fairly consistent, since I visited on many multiplayer sessions as well as on my map, and many of those sessions have had a res on here. So this is the spot right here, right next to his lake. And now let's try to find this female, because right after we kill it, there's something I wanna show you. Something very special that I had the luck to find while making this guide. Oh, there she is. Not the best angle, but this 7mm has some great penetration, so it should be able to go through. And she's down. Nice penetration right there. The angle was not great, but we got her pretty good. Oh, this one is big. 63 to 75 kilos. Is this a level 9? Where did he go? I mean, this feed zone is 9 to 12 and the current time of the session is 11:21. These tracks are fresh. And there's the next track finally. Yeah, this one says running. So he's not too far, eh? A nice open area finally. We are running out of time, so we need to find it quickly. And honestly, this area looks like the perfect place to finally spot him. I see him. He's just ahead. No way! Level 9! Level 9! No way! Holy! What are we gonna do? We don't have much time, so we need to hurry, eh? Man, he has to be down there. He can't be too far. It's just a matter of getting a spot on him and then shoot him. There he is. Man, he's super close. I mean, to be completely honest, this guy should be way faster, but we can't complain on this situation. We've been chasing him for a while and it is time to drop him. We need to drop him, quickly. We'll have to risk it. If we don't risk it here, we won't have time to kill it. I hate to say it, but that is the truth. So let's see. Come on, kitty. Keep throwing. And he's down. He is down. Oof. We did it. We might have dropped our first ever Diamond Snow Leopard. The shot was definitely viral, probably double long. So it's time to see if this guy is actually diamond or if it is gonna be the most painful troll I've ever gotten. Well, maybe not the most painful since I've also gotten some super rare trolls, but definitely one of the most painful. Let's see. He's a diamond, 29.1. Exactly 70 kilos. He made it. Yes. He's not a max weight though, the max weight is 75. This guy is actually barely diamond. I think it is safe to say this is the best trophy we have gotten so far here on Sundarpatan. I don't know exactly how rare they are, but I think it's likely that these snow leopards are the rarest diamond on the entire game. So it is hard to believe, to be honest. No way. Now, apart from all the hotspots I shown you in this video, there are many other areas where it's also likely you'll find a leopard. And even though all these hotspots have leopards with a relatively high frequency, it is gonna be up to you to decide how to hunt them. If you wanna try to set up a grind using these locations, you can definitely try it. It won't be easy, but you can try. I personally prefer to check them all on different multiplayer sessions, so that way I take advantage of all the initial spawns, and that way I can keep finding new leopards after new leopards by checking the same spots over and over on different servers.